The Trump administration has made a significant decision that will impact millions of Americans. Starting May 5, 2025, the government will resume collecting payments on defaulted student loans. This decision ends a pause that began in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Approximately 5 million borrowers are immediately affected by this change. An additional 4 million borrowers are in late-stage delinquency. They could soon face collection efforts as well. This decision has sparked debate about its potential economic consequences. Many experts are concerned about the timing of this decision. The economy is facing uncertainty. There are concerns about a possible recession. Resuming student loan collections could put additional strain on the economy. It is a significant policy shift that has divided opinions. Some argue that it is necessary to resume collections. Others worry about the impact on individual borrowers and the overall economy. The resumption of collections has reignited discussions about the broader issue of student loan debt in the United States. With over 42 million borrowers owing a staggering $1.6 trillion, the weight of student loan debt is undeniable. The decision to resume collections adds another layer of complexity to this already challenging issue. This move has prompted a closer examination of the government's role in student lending and debt management. This policy change has brought the issue of student loan debt back into the spotlight. It has also highlighted the economic vulnerability of many borrowers. As the May 5th deadline approaches, the debate over the wisdom and potential fallout of this decision continues. The coming months will reveal the true impact of this policy shift on both individual borrowers and the broader U.S. economy. One of the primary concerns about resuming student loan collections is its potential impact on consumer spending. Consumer spending is a major driver of the U.S. economy. It accounts for approximately 70% of economic activity. When borrowers have to divert more of their income towards loan repayments, they have less money available to spend on other goods and services. This decrease in spending can have a ripple effect throughout the economy. Reduced consumer spending can lead to decreased demand for products and services. This can in turn lead to businesses generating less revenue and potentially needing to cut jobs. Job losses can further reduce consumer spending, creating a vicious cycle that can harm economic growth. The timing of the resumption of student loan collections is particularly concerning given the current economic climate. With inflation still a concern, and some economists predicting a recession, decreasing consumer spending could exacerbate these issues. The decision to resume collections has been criticized by some for potentially undermining the economic recovery from the pandemic. The potential for decreased consumer spending is a significant worry for economists and policymakers alike. The resumption of collections could have a chilling effect on consumer confidence, leading to further reductions in spending. This is particularly concerning for industries that rely heavily on discretionary spending, such as travel, entertainment, and retail. The impact on these sectors could be substantial, potentially leading to job losses and business closures. The potential for a slowdown in consumer spending is a significant concern that cannot be ignored. In addition to impacting consumer spending, the resumption of student loan collections could also harm borrowers' credit scores. When loans go into default, it is reported to credit bureaus, which can lower credit scores. A lower credit score can make it more difficult and expensive for individuals to borrow money in the future. This can have long-term consequences for borrowers, making it harder for them to access loans for major purchases like homes and cars. Access to credit is essential for many Americans, and a lower credit score can make it significantly more challenging to obtain loans with favorable terms. This can have a ripple effect on the economy, as reduced access to credit can lead to decreased investment in homes, businesses, and other areas that drive economic growth. The impact on credit scores is another way in which the resumption of student loan collections could have far-reaching economic consequences. The potential damage to credit scores could create a barrier for borrowers seeking to improve their financial situations. With a lower credit score, individuals may face higher interest rates on loans, or be denied loans altogether, making it more difficult to purchase a home, start a business, or access other financial products that could help them build a more secure financial future. The long-term impact on creditworthiness is a significant concern for borrowers facing the resumption of student loan collections. The resumption of collections could exacerbate existing inequalities in access to credit. Borrowers from disadvantaged backgrounds are disproportionately likely to have student loan debt, and to have experienced financial hardship during the pandemic. The resumption of collections could make it even harder for these borrowers to access credit and build financial security, potentially widening the racial and socioeconomic wealth gap. The potential for increased inequality is a serious concern that policymakers must address. The decision to resume student loan collections has drawn mixed reactions from experts. Some experts argue that the economic impact of resuming collections has been overstated. Brent Evans from Vanderbilt University, for example, cautions against assuming the impact will be severe, citing the overall economic uncertainty. He also notes that not all defaulted borrowers will be affected, as collections target wages or programs like Social Security. Others argue that the resumption of collections will provide much-needed clarity after years of uncertainty surrounding the Biden administration's efforts to forgive student loan debt. This clarity, they argue, will allow borrowers to make more informed decisions about their finances. The resumption of collections, from this perspective, is a necessary step towards addressing the student loan debt crisis. However, many experts express concern about the timing of the decision, arguing that it could stifle economic growth and disproportionately harm vulnerable borrowers. They point to the already existing economic anxieties, such as inflation and the threat of recession, and argue that resuming collections will only worsen these issues. The potential for decreased consumer spending and damage to credit scores are cited as major concerns that could have long-term economic consequences. The diversity of opinions reflects the complexity of the issue and the difficulty in predicting the full extent of the economic impact. While some experts remain optimistic that the economy can absorb the shock of resumed collections, others fear a more severe fallout, particularly for those already struggling financially. The debate highlights the need for careful monitoring of the situation and potentially for mitigating policies to soften the impact on borrowers and the economy as a whole.